it's Carrie here at Get Your Vibe Right, and I am an energy practitioner, if you don't know me. And some of the things that I help my clients with is new habit creation, or what we often like to just call breaking bad habits, right? We've all got them. We all would really like a shortcut to get rid of them. And believe me, if I could do it in one session, I would be as rich as can be. But generally, these kinds of behaviors are formed over time, and there's a lot of contributing factors that go into them. So the one that I was working with recently was binge eating. So a lot of us do this because we get into an emotional state that doesn't feel good, and we want to feel better. And one of the ways that we immediately feel better is by eating comfort food. Generally, this is carbs and sugars and, it makes you feel so good. Well, here's something that I bet you don't know about why it makes you feel so good. Because this is actually, there's a biological response going on here in addition to the habit that you formed. So when we are in fight or flight mode in high anxiety situations, which most of us live in perpetually nowadays, when your body needs to either fight or flight, one of the things that it does is it moves a lot of the blood in the circulatory system to the extremities so that you can either fight or get those legs moving and run. So when we feel anxious, when we have a high anxiety situation, all of a sudden all of that blood rushes out of the core of our body into our extremities, preparing us to fight or flight. Now, a lot of times we're not actually in a situation of fight or flight. Our body just thinks that we are because of the intensity of the anxiety that we're feeling. And the response is, hey, we got to fight our way out of this, or we got to get out of here now. So here's what happens though when you eat something. When you eat, the body needs to pull all of that blood back into the core so that it can digest the food that you're eating. So for those of you who are struggling with eating, whether it's binge eating or just eating a little too much in the evening before you go to bed that you know you don't want to be eating and you can't really figure out why, well, here's one answer, one piece of the puzzle to that, is that if you are living in a state of high anxiety all day long, from your family situation, your relationship situation, your career situation, whatever it might be, even just the commute home is stressful sometimes, right? So immediately when you get home, what's happened, your body has prepared you to flee or to fight. And so all of that blood's left your core, which is why we feel unstable. We get a little snack, we get a little hit, all of a sudden the body's like, oh my gosh, we need all that blood back. Let's bring it back into the core. Okay, so that's one of the things that's happening, which hopefully makes you feel a little bit better and answers a question of why do I turn to food when I get so stressed out? That's one reason why, biology. Okay, the other reasons why are obviously have to do with feelings, the idea of comfort, things that make us feel better. There's a certain amount, even from biology, about satiating our hunger that makes us feel safe and secure, because obviously our ancestors went through times of famine when death could have been likely. Like, survival was uncertain unless food was going into the system. So when food's going into the system, we get a greater sense of calm, we get a greater sense of safety and security. So this is why we often turn to food. Now, the conversation I was having with my client, because she wanted this to never happen again, like for her, the win was, hopefully last time was the last time I'll ever do that. And I was kind of like, oh, well, I wouldn't really, I wish that for you and I want that for you. But what I know is that it's very unlikely after all this time that you built this habit of doing this, that you're going to not do it again. So let's not make that the win. Let's not make the goal to just never binge eat again. let's just make the goal to become aware that that my body is moving towards that comfort food, and I want to be able to eat in order to make myself feel better. Once you have the awareness, so the awareness of it becomes the win, at least in the beginning. We're going to get to the part where you don't have to turn to food when you feel stressed out, but it's not going to happen day one. So make awareness the goal. I'm aware that I'm falling into that same old pattern again. I'm aware that I'm reaching for the ice cream or the bag of chips or whatever it is that you turn to. And instead, what I recognize is my body is stressed out, it's in fight or flight mode, and I need to bring that blood back into my core. One of the ways that we can do this is through belly breathing. So you know the way that babies breathe when they lie on their backs and their belly just goes out and you can just watch them. They don't breathe from up here in their chest. They breathe from way down here in their bellies because they feel safe and secure when they're there. So they're open in that part of their body. So make the win awareness, and before you go to the refrigerator or the cabinet to get whatever it is you're wanting to eat, to bring yourself back down, lie down for 3 minutes and just belly breathe for 3 minutes. Give your body time to bring that blood back from your extremities into your core and see how you feel. If you still decide you need the ice cream or the chips or whatever it is, then you go for it, because you've already won by becoming aware. And you're going to work at this in stages. Eventually, you're just not going to grab for those things. But we need to train your body to find a new way to bring peace, calmness, safety, and security, those feelings, back into focus. And it's not going to happen overnight. If you're trying to break a bad habit, don't make the win, I'm never going to do it again. Because you're just going to fail. And what's that going to do? It's going to make you feel worse, which means you're probably going to do that thing again, right? Make the win awareness. And if it is eating and it is trying to reduce anxiety, recognize that your body's has a mechanism for that. It has multiple mechanisms for that. One is to eat, another is to breathe. Try that out. See how it goes. And if you want to be able to release the things that are causing the anxiety, or release the feelings you're having about things in your life that are causing you anxiety, then please subscribe to my channel, because I am going to give you lots of other ways that you can deal with those things. This was just a really quick hit on how to start breaking a bad habit.